Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So as you can see, we have a cute little special guest here. Francis, say hi. Say hi to the camera. He's a little camera shy. This is my oldest cat, Francis, and the reason I brought him in here is because when I film in this location, oh look at him, he's hiding in my elbow. When I film in this location, I use his favorite chair in the house. He really likes my silver fuzzy chair. So since I'm sitting on his chair, he gets to sit on me. And I took a poll on Instagram. He's also very vocal. I took a poll on Instagram, and a lot of you guys said to start featuring kitty cats in my videos. So I'm gonna see if I can bring a cat into every video because who doesn't love cats, right? If you don't love cats, you're probably not gonna like my channel. So, yike. He agrees with me. Don't you bet. So the actual focus of today's video, though, is to talk about something that I feel like in the makeup community isn't as talked about anymore, and that is neutral eye looks. So obviously it is still very talked about, but a lot of pictures that like I see on Instagram and a lot of tutorials that I see on YouTube nowadays are a lot of colorful eyes, which is totally okay. Color is great, and the fact that we can find ways to make it wearable and awesome looking is so great. But truth is, say bye. Truth is, neutral eyes are like the hidden gem that I think everyone should have and should use. It's like your hometown where you leave it for a while and then you come back and it is always there for you. So, what I want to do today is talk about the 3 best neutral palettes that I own, and then I also want to talk about some ones that like I would recommend getting. I don't personally have myself, but I want and would recommend other people get as well if you really like a neutral eye. And in the spirit of a neutral eye, I went with a neutral eye today. And I actually used the first palette that I'm going to talk about today. So this guy here is Felix. This is my second oldest. He loves people and he loves attention, but he doesn't like being held. So he's gonna find a way to make himself comfy on me now. He'll probably be with us the rest of the video. I wouldn't be surprised. This is Felix. He is my only black and white. The other 2 are all black. And yeah, he's a total people person. Loves the camera, loves attention and sniffing, and so I wouldn't be surprised if he's with us the rest of the video. And my little girl Maggie, who might look like Francis on first impressions, might come down at some point. I don't know. But anyway, let's get back to the purpose of this video, and that is to talk about neutral eyes. So the first thing I'm going to do after Mr. here gets comfortable is I'm going to pull out my personal like top 3 eyeshadows that I own that I use for neutral eyes. And he's licking me. The licking begins. Okay. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and start. So hopefully he'll settle himself down in a second. So the first palette I want to talk about is, here we go, what I consider the OG palette, but obviously it's not. But it's great for neutral eye, the Naked Basic palette original. So as you can probably tell, oh look at him, he's a good old Vanna White. Yeah, as you can tell, I've had this palette for a while. It is in some pretty rough looking condition packaging wise, but the shadows inside still look pretty good. I haven't hit pan on any of them yet. Honestly, at this point, it's probably expired, but like, I tend to not throw away makeup palettes, like eyeshadow palettes, until they're like dead and gone or they've been infected by pink eye. R.I.P. Sweet Peach. So yeah, this is an oldie but a goodie for me. I do not use it very often, but I bought it I think around like the end of middle school, when I was really into neutral eyes. And back in the day I used to wear, I think a lot of people used to wear this, the Wet n Wild Walking on Eggshells little trio. And at one point I hit pan on all of those and literally like used it to infinity and beyond. Like it was gone, it was dead. There was a time period where they stopped selling it for a while, or at least they stopped selling it in stores that were convenient for me to get to. So I had to find another palette. And so my parents bought me this one, or I think I like asked them to buy me this one. Any day now. And I started using it, and it includes 5 mattes. Yeah, 5 mattes and 1 shimmer at the very end. The shimmer is the color Satin over there. So what I tend to do with this palette is I'll put a little bit of WOS like all over my eyelid and into my crease a little bit, just to kind of set up a base for what I'm going to do. Here it goes, moving again. And then I'll go in with Naked 2, and I'll go into that in my crease, and I'll slowly build it up, build it on the outer corner a little bit, and then I'll go in with Faint right on top of that, again, build it up. That's the same technique that you guys see me do a lot. And then at the very end, I will put a little bit of like a combination of Faint and Crave, which is the dark brown and the black. I'll put a combination of that on the outer corner as well as the lower lash line, and I will blend it out. So that is what I did today. And I also have I'm sorry, I said Satin on the outer. Venus is what the color is, but it's like a satin finish. And that is what I put on my brow bone and my inner corner. So I don't tend to use the color Foxy a lot. It's just like, it's a weird color for me to use. Like, I kind of don't really have a point for it. But as, like, other than a base color like WOS. Die Hard, love this palette. I don't use it very often. Because it is one of my older ones, and it is small, so it tends to kind of get lost in my collection a little bit. But whenever I pull it out, I use it for like a fair period of time, because it really is just like the perfect neutral palette. It is great. Urban Decay is not overly expensive, so it's really great for people that are starting out with makeup, because it is a neutral eye palette that you can use to play around and like build your skills while still like not getting too out of the comfort zone or anything like that. It's great for like younger people doing makeup. Again, like I started using this in like middle school. So love, love, love this palette. I haven't tried the Naked Basics 2. I have seen it. I just haven't tried it yet. Oh my gosh, are you actually getting comfortable? Well, he got comfortable, guys. But yeah, this is the one that I own, and I would recommend buying it if you don't own it in your collection already. So the next palette that I have is another one that you guys have seen me use a lot, and that is the original Lorac Pro palette. So I'm pretty sure you guys have seen what my palette looks like on this channel before, but as you can see, I've hit pan on 4 of them. So, and it's the 4 that you would expect me, like based on what I do for Neutral Eyes, that you would expect me to hit pan on. I hit pan on the color Taupe, the color Sable, and the 2 shimmery eyelid colors, Nude and Champagne. So I had this palette for a while. I don't remember, I think I like lost this palette, or I used up another one of my neutral palettes, and I was like, okay, I need something to replace it, but I want to try something new. And so I had like, I think I had like a $25 gift card to Kohl's or whatever, and of course like they have this in the makeup department of Kohl's. It's a department store. They have a makeup department. And so they had this, and I had heard a lot about it at the time, and I swatched it, and the colors were so buttery, like, oh my gosh, it's legitimately just like dipping your finger in to like melted butter. It's so good. So I swatched 3 colors right there for you. 2 of them are shimmery and light, so it's kind of hard to see, but I swatched the color Champagne, and then Lieutenant Bronze, and then the color Mauve down here. But yeah, it was just so buttery, and the colors were really, really great, and I was like, absolutely, I'm sold. And I still am to this day. I think this palette is not talked about as much anymore and completely underrated now, and I just think it's so good. The one thing that I will say about it is that, who is calling me right now? Oh crap, it's my mama. I've had this palette for a very long time. Oh, look, there I am. Hello, look at me. Yeah, I've had this palette, again, for a long time. Bye, kitty. And I love it. Like I said, it is a little bit more cool toned, so if you like cooler colors, this is definitely a really good palette. I do tend to go for warmer colors. But I also tend to reach for this when I'm going for a smoky eye because I feel like I can really create a good smoky eye when I use this palette. Uh, so yeah, this is one that the formula is just really, really nice, and the colors are really good, and I just thoroughly enjoy using this palette overall. And then the third one that I own is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. And you guys have heard me talk about this on my channel a lot. You guys know that I love, love, love this palette. I just think that Morphe and Jaclyn did such a good job with this palette. So it looks like this if you don't own it and haven't seen it. So as you can see, it is very, very neutral with a little bit of color in this bottom corner down here. And it is warm colors, which is what I like and tend to wear. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll take this color right here, which is Silk Cream. No, just kidding. Sorry, that is MFEO. I have the little sheet right here. So I'll take MFEO or sometimes Silk Cream, doesn't matter. And then I'll go in with Pukey down here. And then I'll go in with Buns. And again, this is all like building into the crease. Again, stuff you guys have seen me do before. Building into the crease. And then I'll go in with a little bit of Mocha down here. And then I will put either of these two shades or this shade over here or this shade down here or this shade down here. Basically, I'll just pick a lid color, whatever's calling to me that day. But I use a variety of lid colors. But yeah, so that is what I use a lot. And again, I think this palette is so, so good. Morphe's formula, they've nailed it. Just all of their palettes in general. This one really specifically, along with the James Charles palette, have really, really hit the spot on formula, but like I haven't had a problem with any Morphe palette formulas up to this point. Yeah, they really hit the nail on the head with warm neutrals for this one. And then yeah, if I want to do a little like pop of color on the lower lash line, then I have the ability to do that. I love doing a neutral eye up top and then using one of those bright blues down on the bottom. So good. So good. So yeah, I think this palette is really, really good. It's pretty thin, so it's pretty easy to travel with. Little large, so it's not something you can like stick in a bag and go with. You have to like, and by that I mean like make a bag. You have to stick it actually like straight up in like a duffel or something. But I do travel with it a lot, and it's just really, really good, and love it. Love it a lot. And again, like I said, they've hit the nail on all the formulas. Mattes, shimmers, all of them. So let me go ahead and swatch a few for you. We'll go on the other hand this time. We'll swatch Roxanne. Ah, yum. We'll swatch Twerk, which is that dark blue shimmer. And actually does take a little bit of swatching to get. And we'll go with Sissy over here. Oh, I don't use Sissy enough, my goodness. So from bottom to top, we have Roxanne, we have Twerk, and then we have Sissy up top here. So those are just some examples of what the colors in the palette look like. And I just think it's a really, really great palette, and I would definitely recommend it if you don't have it already. It is a reasonable price. I think it's like $36, maybe less. It's somewhere between $20 and $36. I know that. I just don't remember what it was. I bought it on, I think, second round of releasing. Like when she first released this, I think I bought on like the second round of release. Oh god. Okay. Yeah. Some honorable mentions that I own, and by that I mean one honorable mention is the Naked palette. The main reason that I didn't mention it is because it is no longer made, and from what I can tell, no longer sold in stores. So I got this right before they took it off the market. I got it for half price at Ulta because it was being taken off the market. So if you have this in your collection, it definitely is really good for a neutral eye. I like using Naked and Buck in the crease and then kind of playing around with everything else. It's what I used on the day of the wedding that I went to. So the last video that I filmed, two videos ago. But yeah, so they don't sell it in stores anymore. So if you don't have it, it's okay. There's like 4 other Naked palettes that are out there. So there's totally other palettes that you can use. The Naked 2 palette is also really good. I just don't own it, but I've used it before. But it is in my collection, and I do use it a lot, again, for neutral eyes. So those are the Naked palettes. See, here we go. those are the neutral palettes that are in my collection that I adore. And I think that everyone should have in their collection if they don't already. And now I want to talk about some neutral palettes that I wish that I owned. And the first one that comes to mind right away, I didn't write these down because, you know, I'm a noob. But the first one that comes to mind is pretty much any of the round Tartelette palettes. So like the kind of like the one that they got in BoxyCharm, I think it was in like February or something. Just like those round palettes with, I think it's like 10 or 12 shadows on the outside and then like I think 2 on the inside. I just think those are really, really cute. And they are bulky in packaging, but I just think the colors are just so neutral and wearable and adorable. And they're just something that I could totally see myself reaching for just like on an everyday basis to give myself just, here, I'm going to take this Tartelette palette, I'm going to pop it on right before I go to class. Like I could totally see myself using that. I haven't actually used an eyeshadow palette by Tarte before, so I have no idea what the formula is like, and I don't think I've actually like swatched it in stores. I just really like the pictures of it because, I mean, who doesn't love pictures of makeup? So, but yeah, so that is pretty much any of the 3 of them I would accept and would want to buy for myself. Another one is, this one is kind of controversial, but is the Morphe, like, I think it's like Bronze Goddess or something. The Morphe palette that they just came out with over the summer with their like bronze collection. Fun fact, I also want that bronzer. But I just thought that was really pretty. I know a lot of people were like, oh, these are the same colors that they've released before. It's just in different packaging. And but that may be true, but like, truth or not, it's pretty. Like, that is how I see it. Yeah, a lot of palettes are coming out looking the same as other ones being released, but like, if it's pretty, and I'm gonna want it. So, yeah, I really like the neutral selection in there. There were pops of color, like Morphe is really, really good about putting in, and I did like the bronze packaging as opposed to the black packaging. Not that I don't love the black packaging Morphe. I do. It's great, very slick looking, but the bronze was just something that was really, really cool. I liked it. Another one that I want back in my collection, Too Faced Sweet Peach. Sweet dear. If you guys don't know the story behind that, at the end of fall semester, I got pink eye twice within a month. And both times, it was when I used the Sweet Peach palette. Like, I used the Sweet Peach palette, got pink eye, stopped using it for a while, healed up my pink eye, like, got over it and everything, and it was fine. And then, like, 2 days into my winter break, I started using the peach palette again and got pink eye again. So I knew that it was holding the bacteria from the first time in that palette. And so I threw out the palette. It was a soul-crushing day because I loved that palette. Loved that palette. So yeah, kids, when you get pink eye, disinfect your makeup. But yeah, that palette, again, is really, really great. It smells really good. It's perfect for people who like warmer colors like me. It's neutral, but at the same time, because it is warmer and color, like, it has color in there, and it does tend to be more on the coral side, which, like, it's still neutral, but it's like tiptoeing the line a little bit, and I was always into that. It reminded me of, like, if anyone watches Adrienne Hill, who is a college vlogger, it reminded me of like the makeup look that she used to do in all of her vlogs, which was just like a simple, slightly coral look with like a shimmery eye and like some mascara, and it was beautiful. And I realized that I could do that with the Sweet Pea palette, and I was like, oh yes! So that is another one that I want to repurchase and will eventually. And I'm trying to think of if there's any other ones off the top of my head. So I can't think of any more off the top of my head, but there are a lot of makeup palettes that I would want to try. I would love to try more by Morphe and stuff like that. And pretty much there are a lot of neutral eye palettes out there. And so I just kind of want to experiment and play around. So hopefully I will be able to get that chance someday. So that is all that I have for you guys. Again, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe down below if you haven't already, and ring the bell for notifications whenever I upload. I'm planning on uploading on Wednesdays and Saturdays. This week is actually going to be a little bit funky. This video is actually probably going to go up on Friday because Friday night, I'm going camping until Monday, so I need to get it up when I actually, have service. So this video, when you're watching it, will probably actually be going up on Friday morning. But like I said, I will normally be uploading on a Wednesday, Saturday schedule, and I might throw in some random videos here and there. I really want to do some like cooking videos and fitness videos. And I may or may not have recorded a game video. I don't know. I'm also debating on starting a second channel for that stuff so that this can be focused mainly on beauty. So let me know if you think I should start a second channel or if you just want to see those types of videos thrown in here and there on my channel. So, like I said, that's all that I have for you guys. I hope you appreciated the cats coming in to join us today. I know I did. I'm going to have some really fun bloopers to edit in this video. Yeah, so I want to try and incorporate them in more videos because my cats are my cats and they're very important to me and I adore them very much. So, I hope you enjoyed and I will see all of you in my next video. Bye, everybody. He... Yeah? Yeah? So, the main I'll let you go now, buddy. Bye. Get myself ready here. Ooh, also, if whatever sound you're hearing, I'm really sorry. Like I've mentioned. Oh my god! 2 cats in one video! Come here, buddy! Wait! Oh, come here. Oh no. Squeaky, you dropped my pallets. Is that a 3rd cat? Did I just see all 3 cats? Oh, buddy, your little heart's racing. Before you do that, can I bend down and grab these? Okay. Yes, you can get comfy now. Okay. See, this is what happens when you feature cats in videos. They get distracted by chair corners and stuff like that. He's also distracted by looking out my window, which is right over there. So we'll see what happens next. Oh, here he comes. Here he comes. Yeah. All right. Again, would really appreciate if you got comfy. Hi, Mom.
Hey, I may be a little bit late.